When did you get married? Like
25.
25.
10 years.
Yeah.
Am I right? I stalked them on Instagram.
10
so
years next year, yeah.
Okay.
close to 10 years.
Yeah.
So not far off. I mean, like,
yeah,
I was already 24 when I got married.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
So 1 year
That's
out.
dope. Yeah, 1 year out. Yeah, exactly.
I was still 22.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say I got married at 22. It was like 12 days before.
Yes. Yeah, my wife was how old? 24. I was 25. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when we got it. I mean, I look back and I wish I got married younger. That's not my wife's wish. Like every time I say that, just like, screw
No.
you.
Yeah, what are you saying?
I was like, 19, 20.
Yeah.
I would have done it, bro.
Why?
I think, yeah, but I wasn't a Christian then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've always wanted to get married.
Mm.
So my dad and my mom, I mean, they divorced, I think when I was in first year, but the years I had with them, I wanted to get married because of that.
Mm.
But when I was 19, my life was just shaky.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have been able to lead anybody.
Mm.
I couldn't even lead myself. And yeah, then got saved a couple of years later. But if I look back, I'm like, if I was 19, that would have been dope. Just growing with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, building together. I've gotten to taste that with my wife, you know, but I'm like, yeah, man. And to some extent, I've known my wife since I was 19.
Yeah.
We were friends for 5 years before we started dating. So when you guys dated for 5 years, we were friends for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? But we didn't have any intentions, no feeling, or whatever. But I think, yeah, so that 5 years was dope. And had we been married, obviously things would have changed. The dynamic of our friendship would have changed as well. But that's one thing I always champion for. Like, do this thing as early as you can. Obviously, if you have a job, you know, you're consenting, you're at an age where you wanting to do this thing. But the earlier the better for me. Like, it's just, once you wait longer, you just develop habits. And formulate routines that are going to be hard to break. And I say this because I know there's people who want to get married and they, especially girls who are not getting approached. And I'm not saying, like, now go shoot your shot because you're afraid that you'll develop habits, whatever. But that naturally happens, right? So if you're starting your first job, there's a way in which you're developing habits and routines as you get into your first gig, paying rent for the first time, buying a house, whatever the thing is. So by the time somebody else comes, you're like, Chucks, bro, now I need to like merge all of that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough,
Yeah.
you know. But you guys are like figuring stuff as you go.
Yeah.
Literally.
Together.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So maybe let's chat about that. Like, what did you guys expect? And did you meet your expectations met, rather? Or are you at a point where you're like, I fine. Yeah, maybe I didn't hear from heaven.
You want to start?
Namdi, I think you can start.
So for me,
Yeah.
Well, we went to marriage prep, so
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was very helpful.
Yeah.
And it was like, it taught us that the other person is human and it'll be hard, you know. So I think the 5 years in a relationship helped on my side.
Sure.
To be like, I knew her to some extent, maybe not living with her, but I knew what to expect from Mo. And yeah, I think besides that, I wouldn't say that I didn't build an expectation in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just like, sizobona khona. You know, what happens.
Sure.
I must just, in everything, the most important thing that I think helped us in our relationship, we were once, I don't know if it was because of a fight that got us to this, but there was a thing of, are you being loving towards me? So
Who was asking that?
like
We were asking that of each other.
yeah,
Okay.
of each other. So it was a thing of, in everything that we do, we have to be loving to the next person.
Sure.
So even if you're very upset or whatnot, the way in which you project or anything has to be loving. So, and you can hold each other accountable like that. If she goes off on me or I go off on her, she'll ask me, is that you being loving? Like the words that you're using now, are you being loving? So I think to some extent that has held us.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that I've expected anything.
I guess to some extent that's an expectation. That you come in saying, I'm expecting that the other person will be loving.
Yeah.
So Mo was laughing. Wait, how many times have you blown that?
No, I'm laughing because I'm like, obviously the man is the one who gets angry. Not angry, but like can get frustrated a lot. I'm a very person. So I'll still force him to say I love you in the midst of anger. Sure. Like
when you pissed him off,
say I love you.
And I'll be like,
I love Jesus. Not
I can't. And I'm like, you have to. Yeah. You have to say I love you. There's no way gonna end this conversation, even though you're still frustrated. There's no way gonna end this conversation without you still affirming your love for me, because you know that I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Obviously, throughout the conversation as we're speaking, we do analyze where it went wrong, where I triggered you. Okay, fine. And you take accountability. He takes accountability as well. And then, but there's still the idea that I love you. And then he still has to say I love you.
And the problem with that, Mo wants to fix things now.
Yeah.
So it's like, this just happened, let's fix it.
Bro, we've established in this podcast, all women are like that.
Yo.
Somebody was trying to say, no, but... Thanks for proving out my point.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't like being angry. Yes. I don't like being angry. I think it comes from like how my mom used to beat me up. Like if I like did something bad, she would like whip me, and then she's like, you're still crying. Yeah. Ow. And then it's like a joke now. I think that's where it comes from. Like you can't be in a certain like bad emotion for a long time with my mom. So it was like that thing where it's like, we can't be angry at each other for that. Let's just deal with this thing and move on. Yes. That's just how my mentality is. I don't think I'm forcing, because I do give him time and he's like, actually just need time. So I was like, okay, no, you have your time.
So you communicate that?
Yeah, he does.
And I give silent treatment, yo.
Come on now. Come on now.
I don't play.
Yeah.
I keep quiet.
Lord, forgive us. Sheesh. How do you handle that though? When he does that?
It hurts.
Yeah.
But I know he's going to come back. Yes. I just give him like a few minutes. He doesn't take time. You can't be quiet. Especially because I talk a lot. You can't be quiet.
Are you quiet at home?
I mean, it's both ways.
No,
sometimes
I influenced him. When we met, he was quiet. No.
She actually says almost every day, hey, people must see the Shaun that I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, which Shaun is this one?
It's a practice Shaun. You just practice. Sheesh.
Yeah. But how in your household?
Yeah.
Like when you guys are upset.
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
How did you
9 years later, we're only figuring this thing now. But similar thing. My wife wants to talk now. I need to process. But I mean, you are anointed. A few minutes. Me, I need days. I need a month. I'll talk. I'm not gonna be mean. You know, I can't do silent treatment. I can't. Like. I just feel like for me, I'm like, Jax, bro, it just makes, I hate awkwardness.
Yeah.
So I will swallow it up, you know. But over the years, I think it was our second year. I think, it was second year. We had a massive screaming match, right? Like one of us was at the door. We were in our bedroom. One of us was at the door, another person was on the bed. I can't remember who. And then we just screamed at each other. And I think had that not happened, that would not have shaped our fighting style. You know. So I don't advise that you scream at each other, but that
I mean, we have.
Have you?
I think we were like, you spite me, I spite you. You spite me, I spite you. And that's how we developed the whole, are you loving when you do that?
And you guys did that while you were dating?
While we were dating. Okay. The 5 years we were dating. We didn't really have a lot of fights. Yeah. But like the two we had in the beginning were bad. Yeah. Especially because of the distance as well, it kind of gets to you.
It does.
So
yeah, I mean, I didn't do long distance, but I know.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where we were like, we need to find a healthier way of fighting, because you don't want to come out and regret what you said to the other person.
100.
So if you see me going up, try to come down or bring me down. Or if you like, that's how we kind of also end up like obviously you learn as you go. Okay, this is how this what works. But yeah, though, I remember the first night we didn't sleep at all.
Of what, fighting?
We didn't sleep at all. I thought, I know it's over, Shem.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
I'm very keen to know what you guys were fighting about.
I forgot.